Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I am. I am.
I'm ready. We're
Okay.
we're doing this, right?
Mhm. You can start us off.
Welcome everyone. Today is the first pilot episode for Entre Nosotros podcast.
Yeah. Mhm.
Joining me today is my lovely girlfriend,
Oh,
Brenda.
oh, babe. Joining. This is our podcast. What are you
Oh
talking
wait, oh wait, wait. Sorry. It's gonna be
This is Entre Nosotros.
true,
That.
true,
Mhm.
true.
Yeah. We wanted to just start this podcast just to basically kind of just talk.
Yeah,
I
of
always, I
course.
always think we always have something to talk about, and it just seems fun. We're really doing this on the whim, to be honest.
Yeah, on the whim.
Mhm. Mhm.
Let me introduce you guys to the host, which is me, obviously,
Mhm.
my girlfriend Brenda,
Mhm. Mhm.
and me, I'm Johnny.
What do you want to get into the first topic that we're actually discussing right now in the car?
Yeah. We'll start with supernatural.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do you believe in the supernatural? Question to me to you.
Yeah. I feel like I believe in stuff like ghost. Um I don't know if this is supernatural, but I believe a lot in like brujeria
That's
and
supernatural to me.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm. And yeah, spirits and stuff like that. I've always been a big believer in that, and I have a lot of experience with some of it. So I feel like that's what makes me more of a believer for the
Órale.
supernatural. But yeah, it's an interesting topic, and it's honestly like scary, but at the same time also in a way comforting. Because if things like ghosts exist, right? Then does that mean that and spirits? Then does that mean like people like loved ones we wish we could like see again means that like how do I say this? It's almost like life is just never ending.
Exactly. Tell me one of your supernatural encounters.
A supernatural encounter. Like the first one that I can think of that's always like in the back of my mind is the one about when I used to live in this apartment complex. And in my room I had a like almost like a walk-in closet, but I had to pass like the door would always be open. And the only way that I could pass by it is if like or the only way I could get out of my like room is I had to pass by that door, right?
Yeah. The
And
mini hallway. Yeah.
yeah, like yeah, like a mini hallway. So I always had to pass by that closet in order to get out of my room. And at the time I was taking care of my niece, and she always had a thing about like in my closet I had cubbies. So she always had a thing about like taking them out. Like basically rummaging through the cubbies. And I remember one time I heard something in my closet as I was walking by to get out of my room. I heard like someone in there, and I could see from the corner of my eye like a figure bending down and like basically just taking things out.
Oh. So it was your niece, right?
I thought it was my niece. I
So that
had
was
a
it.
That's what I'm
I
saying. I
wasn't.
had like she always did it, so I wasn't surprised. Like I wasn't scared because I was like, oh, that's my niece. Let me go tell her something. And I go over to the closet to like kind of like reprimand her to not do that. And then there's like no one in there. There's no one in the closet,
Ooh.
but there's clothes on the floor.
Oh my god. Oh my god, my skin. My skin turned into like chicken legs right now. Like, goosebumps.
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 What are they called? Calofrios?
Nah, no sé.
No, you're making me forget the word.
Fuck. Not knowing Spanish. Shit. No sabo kids right
No,
here.
that kids. It's okay. I'm not too.
No, but that's scary in itself.
Mhm.
Like you thought it was your niece, right?
Yeah, and the thing is that
Where where was your niece?
she was in the living room. I heard her after that. Like,
Oh, and she wasn't even in the room.
mm-mm. Like that's what I'm saying is that like I was scared. I literally froze in the front of my closet door because I was like I was in shock because the clothes was on the floor, like if she would have done it, but she wasn't in there because I could hear her in the living room, and there would have been no way for her to like come in and come out without passing me, you know, without passing me or without me seeing her. So that was like one experience that I remember vividly. And at that point, I didn't stay in my room. I was outside in the living room with her. And yeah, there was like other stuff
El
in that
cucuy.
apartment. No,
Yeah, el cucuy. That was
no me
probably el
digas
cucuy right
eso,
there.
no. Mm-mm. There's a story of the kukoy that I read in school that still scares me. As a kid, it scared me. As now, obviously, I know it's not real. Well, I hope it's not real. But it's still like so vivid in my head. But anyways, like that's what makes me think that there might have been something in my house. Oh, and also in this apartment is when I had sleep paralysis.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, you told me about that. Man, what if like the spirit was trying to communicate with you
Which was which,
in inside your dreams, inside your sleep paralysis? You know,
yeah, or like
like
their
what did
negative
you see in
aura.
your what did you see in your sleep paralysis? Why couldn't you get up or why? Well, what happened?
And
What'd you feel?
I was just stuck in place. Like I was awake, but I couldn't move anything.
Oh,
And um the I remember one of the spirits, or at least one of, like, I don't know, like maybe the aura, or I don't know what it was, but one of the like figures that I would see in my sleep paralysis was this like lady dressed in all black. She was on the side of my on my right side, and I just felt like her hand like rubbing my shoulder right here, but yeah, but it didn't feel welcoming. Like it kind of like she was kind of masking it. Like I feel like she was trying to feel like, oh, it's okay, like calming me, but it was like she was masking something else. Like she
hmm.
was doing it with bad intention, you know? As I was like, I couldn't wake, like as I couldn't like get up, I couldn't move. So, but I had a lot of sleep paralysis at that house. I don't live, I mean, at that apartment. I don't live there anymore. I haven't had a sleep paralysis in like a while, but most of my sleep paralysis were in that apartment.
Well,
What about you? Do you have any?
I never had sleep paralysis, so I wouldn't know,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
I myself, I also believe in ghosts
Mm-hmm.
because there's some things you just can't explain. Like, I also, I'm gonna talk about my old apartment experience as well. I
Mm-hmm.
also lived in a different city. Instead of me having sleep paralysis,
Mm-hmm.
I would wake up in the middle of the night because I would always hear like the dishes moving or the cabinets opening up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about my apartment, like when I first moved into those apartments,
Yeah.
um, I actually lived on the third floor
Mm-hmm.
of the apartment that I would this apartment, and
Mm-hmm.
my family wanted to get their own place because we lived with another family,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember my mom wanted to get a place of her own.
Yeah.
So we were looking for other apartments to see if we can like move out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the landlord,
Yeah.
he said, "Oh, we have an apartment on the first floor." And like I kid you not, like the apartment probably is like what 3 stories high
Yeah.
or whatever. But if you go to every floor, you were able to see stuff. You can see the hallways clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, on that first floor
Mm-hmm.
and the corner that me and my family moved into, it was always dark. For some
Mm.
reason, they would always fix it, and it would always like,
It just would never be fixed.
yeah, like we would think it will never get fixed. But I remember a couple times I would see the landlord fixing the light bulb,
Mm-hmm.
but then like it will last like about a week, and then I don't know, like it would just not work anymore. The
Yeah.
lights wouldn't work. And I remember the first time I went to that for the empty apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You go inside,
Mm-hmm.
cold, cold as ice, and it was in the middle of summer, like, and I couldn't figure out why it was so cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like the apartment on the third floor that I lived in
Mm-hmm.
was pretty hot. It was
Yeah.
pretty like because the sun was hitting it, and
Yeah.
like all I did was go to the first floor.
Mhm.
and like pretty much I would live literally on the same side, just
So
on the
the
first
so
floor.
the sun is still like hitting
Yeah,
it's everything the same.
the sun is still hitting it,
Mhm.
right? And they have their own like balcony and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And you go inside that room, cold as ice. And like obviously we're like we didn't I didn't think much of it,
Mhm.
neither did my family,
Yeah.
because like what it's cold because it's empty. There's no one in there.
Yeah.
There's no furniture. There's no nothing.
Mhm.
So we got it because it was a good price, and start something new.
Mhm.
As time went on,
Mhm.
as the years went by, I lived there for like about 8 years.
Yeah.
About 8 years, and then every single time I would hear like the cabinets open. The
Mhm.
cabinets would always be open for some reason.
Mhm.
And I remember my mom would always get mad at me because she would think I would be the one opening the cabinets.
Mhm.
And the thing is that the reason why she thought that because I was pretty tall, so I was like pretty much the only one that can reach it. My brothers were pretty short.
Mhm.
I would always get blamed for leaving the cabinets open,
Yeah.
and sometimes I had a bad memory. I was like, I'm pretty sure I closed it,
Yeah.
and
Sounds
then
like they gaslit you into
yeah, they kind of
thinking.
like gaslit me, right? But
Mhm.
then I remember I started to pay more attention to
Like,
what I
yeah.
was doing.
Yeah.
And then I would see the cabinet open on its own,
Like
like
with your own eyes, you
with
would
my
see.
own eyes. I was literally like in the living room. So yeah, so when you enter the apartment, right?
Mhm.
It's it's a hallway that connects to the living room and the kitchen.
Mhm.
So the living room, you can see the kitchen.
Mhm.
And then further down, you take like a little right and there's a hallway to go to the room
Mhm.
that my parents slept in.
Mhm.
So my parents were in that room. There was no way they could have got into the kitchen, or like I would have seen them
Yeah.
leave that room and open the cabinets.
Yeah.
But I was just there watching TV, and then at the corner of my eye, I just see the cabinet open slowly, and it made a
Mm.
little noise. And I remember distinctly going like, "Oh shit!"
Mhm.
I was like, first I was like, "Oh." It's like maybe my mom is gonna make something or something, or
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I look,
There was
and
no one.
and there was no one,
Mhm.
and I was like, and then out of nowhere, I felt the room get cold, and then I got a chill down my spine because I
Mm.
realized then who opened the cabinet.
Yeah.
And then every so often I would
And
like hear details, or like for example the dish moving,
yeah.
and like obviously the dishes it's kind of reasonable because like
Maybe they might slide off
they
or something.
slide off, right? But I remember the plates would be untouched for like more than 6 hours,
Mhm.
and then out of nowhere you just hear like the plates move side to side and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I remember one time, after I was like noticing these little stuff,
Mhm.
and I didn't tell my mom anything about this, but then my
Mhm.
mom tells me that a story is like, "Mijo, no te vayas a espantar, pero me dijo la vecina
Mhm.
que aquí los que antes vivían, ellos le rezaron a la Santa Muerte." For those that don't speak, Spanish,
Mhm.
my mom just said that don't get scared. I'm gonna tell you something, but the people that used to live here,
Mhm.
they used to worship the Lady of the Dead.
Mhm.
And when I heard that, oh
How?
man, I was spooked because I was like, I seen like a lot of videos of like I don't know, like from those channels like Azteca TV, or like channel 34,
Mhm.
and like they always like
Talked about stuff
talked
like
about stuff like that.
supernatural. Mhm.
Yeah, they talked about like these beliefs and how it's bad. Those
Yeah.
that believe them are bad people.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way, our apartment is haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's how I feel. I feel like moments, and that's just like a couple, like just like the basis of like why I believe this, right?
Mhm.
Because of that one apartment.
Yeah.
And like it's all, and always that one light bulb that will never that as
Mhm.
much as they want to fix it, that shit always fused or whatever, it will
Yeah.
always turn off.
Yeah.
But yeah, end of story. I believe in ghosts.
Really go. No, yeah. After that, like especially. the signs of like the place being super cold, electricity not working, and like these cabinets that opened, right? Those cabinets weren't like flimsy or anything, right? Like, cause
No.
you know how there's cabinets that are flimsy and like some open because just cause, like I don't know, they're old or they don't work as properly, so they don't close all the way.
Hmm.
But if they're like cabinets or furniture that's like sturdy or like it's work should work as normal, and for it to open like that, like on its own, and not just once but multiple times, it's like
Yeah.
kind of makes you believe like what was really going on.
Yeah. And the thing is that this apartment didn't have AC.
Mhm.
It's like those apartments that your landlord doesn't want to, fix anything.
Mhm.
That's what it is. Like it had no AC. So how was that room like cold?
Yeah.
I can't tell. I don't know how to tell you
Mhm.
how to explain that either.
Yeah.
Because like I said, those things are unexplainable. Stuff like that.
And yeah, and I think people that don't believe in like supernatural, I mean, that's like everyone's opinion to each their own, right? But I feel like a lot of people that don't believe in supernatural is because they believe that there's always something to explain it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I get it. Even sometimes like I go like nah, that can't be anything. Cause like what is it? There's always somehow everything could get explained, right?
Mhm.
And like I know like and that's the thing. Like when I grew up,
Mhm.
they always told me like, hey, don't get scared of the supernatural,
Mhm.
or don't get scared of ghosts, because if you are scared,
Mhm.
the ghosts will find out. They'll know that
Mhm.
you're scared, and they'll mess with you more.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's why it's always good to be skeptical, and that's
Yeah.
what I always try to be.
Mhm.
I always like, even though like I do believe in ghosts, I always have to like ground myself and say, hey, this could be explained. Like
Mhm.
maybe it was the wind, maybe it was, even though there was no wind, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, I could give excuses why things happen,
It's almost
but
like a defense mechanism in a
it's
way.
like defense mechanism, right? But like I know what I saw and I know what I felt
Yeah.
that day,
Yeah.
that it felt a little too real to be a coincidence,
Yeah.
you know?
All right. Now, moving on to more supernatural topics, we are going to do a Reddit of the day segment, right?
Woo! Reddit of the day.
I'm a huge Reddit listener reader. I I don't know, I just love listening to other people's like experiences on various things.
Yeah, I love when you tell me about Reddit stories.
Mhm.
Like, cause like I'm not really into that whole like Reddit sphere, but every time you read me a story,
Yeah.
I get more intrigued, and I was like, man, who comes up with these stories? And some of it, I feel like it might be real.
Yeah. Like
They're like, some of them are personal experiences, right?
yeah. I'm like obviously I take Reddit with a grain of salt. But it's just very entertaining to hear. And one of the stories is going to be it's from Ask Reddit, and the question is, what is the scariest slash creepiest thing you have seen or heard? And so this user, unfortunately, they have their username deleted, but this
Oh,
per
that's not a good sign.
right. I wanted to give credit where credit is due, but this deleted user posted their story, and I wanted to read it to you because you haven't heard this. I kind of skimmed through it, so I don't know the full details, but I wanted to read it to you. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm all ears.
All right. It goes. My parents bought their first house back in 1972. It was a fixer-upper, but they decided to move in right away and fix things as time slash money permitted. Within a few days of moving in, the new neighbors came over to introduce themselves. They also let my parents know that the previous owners had moved out after a nasty divorce. They had lost their second baby from SIDS,
Oh
from
my
SIDS.
god. Oh my
Right?
god. The neighbors are already telling you something fucking creepy.
Right? Right? What a way to introduce them into
It's
the
like, yeah,
neighborhood.
like, you know what? The house that you're in, a baby died in there. And you're like, what?
That's
Like, why'd you
like
tell me that? You know?
right, but like I mean, I guess I don't know. Like I guess they wanted them to stay informed, but
Nah, but that's the thing. Like, the realtor should have
wait,
told
wait,
them, right?
and their relationship went downhill from there. My parents were horrified, more so because they were newly pregnant and couldn't imagine going through such a thing. They eventually pretty much forgot all about it. Life went on. They were in love with their new life and their new house. In preparation for the baby, they decided to wallpaper the nursery. Now, my dad told my mom there was no need in wallpapering the inside of the closet, but she insisted. She was kneeling down, scraping off old paint inside of the closet, when her eyes fell upon something that made her blood turn to ice.
Oh shit!
Written in crayon, at above eye level for a kindergartner, in childish scrawl, was written, "I killed the baby."
No,
Mm-hmm.
no.
And that's how it ends.
Who's we or
It
who's
says
I?
I.
Who's I?
It must have been one of the parents. We don't know.
Oh my god.
Who knows?
Nah, the thing that's crazy about this story is about the realtor.
Realtor.
If like, you know, the person that's writing the story,
Mm-hmm.
like, their parents bought the house,
Yeah.
right? But wouldn't the realtor say, "Hey, this house, someone died in here," you know? Why didn't the realtor say anything, you know? And that's what I think is kind of scummy, cuz like,
Are
people buy houses without knowing like the historical background to that house, you know?
yeah. Are realtors inclined to tell you if someone dies?
They should. I'm
Like
pretty sure they should.
unless they get asked, right? Like I don't think they can lie.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
can't.
know.
They can't lie.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
can't
Like
lie.
yeah, but like
But I'm pretty
maybe
sure if I was like buying a home, I would have asked.
you would ask if
Yeah, I
someone
would.
died here.
Did someone die here? Because that's the
Mm-hmm.
first thing I'll think of. You know, like,
Yeah.
like, I don't want to go to a home that already has like bad juju,
Mm-hmm.
negative vibes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of crazy. Like, there was a scroll. Like, what it like? First of all, it's a scroll.
mm-hmm.
Like, what is this, Hogwarts?
Hogwarts.
Yeah, like what? Who writes in the scroll?
No, it's not a scroll. It's a scrawl.
Scroll. What's a scroll?
I don't know. I don't know what a scrawl means. I think it just means that it was written chueco or kind of just written like that, like in the corner.
Oh,
Not a
bruh,
scroll. Mm-hmm.
bruh. This
I
whole
might have
time it
said
was a
it.
scroll.
Scrawl.
But that's still creepy though, because
Yeah.
like, what is it, on the walls, right? In the corner of
Mm-hmm.
the walls.
Yeah.
Damn, the fact that
I just looked up scrawl. It says write something in a hurried, careless way. That's what it means.
oh
Like in a childish scrawl. So that's what it meant.
oh man,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they can look it up, right? Like, I don't know where he lives, maybe in a small town. Because
Mm-hmm.
if it's a small town, I'm pretty sure they have like newspapers, and they probably have stuff online, and they will look it up.
Yeah. Yeah, because this was in 1972, right? Yeah.
1972 is like the age of the house, or
It says my parents bought their first house back in 1972. So around that time.
dude, how old is this guy?
I don't know.
50?
This guy is a deleted
No,
user. So we haven't.
no.
What is it? The source? Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, this is my uncle telling me this story. You know,
Huh.
thanks for the story,
So
Unc.
that's so that's why I say that I take Reddit with a grain of salt. But that
Mm,
doesn't mean that it's not creepy. You know?
I mean, like, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So and the thing is that I'm thinking about like if it's true, right? I killed the baby. Who? You know? If
Yeah,
it
like,
didn't die um
natural
from
causes, right?
yeah. SIDS, I think that's sudden infant death, but I could be wrong. Let me see, because I've heard that a lot. Yeah, it says sudden infant death. There you go. So it says an unexplained death of an infant under 1 year old who appeared healthy. So,
Oh, damn.
so
So,
someone in the family, the mom or the dad, it's what their second baby. Yeah, their second baby. So it could have been also the kid, because if it was done, what? Because it's saying
oh,
if it was
in a
low.
child manner.
Yeah, it said there that it was kindergarten level. Like, so it could
No.
have been the kid too, is what it's saying.
No.
Yeah, that's
Yo, I didn't
creepy.
even think about that.
Cause
Oh.
that's creepy. Because I was saying that maybe the kid might have been jealous or had intention of getting rid of
And you know
the
what's
baby.
crazy about that? You know, like there's this stigma that like when kids like are young
Mhm.
and they have siblings,
Yeah.
they're always fighting for their parents' attention and stuff
Mhm.
like that. They're always
Mhm.
fighting. They're
Yeah.
always bickering. The fact that if the kid actually did kill his baby sibling, whatever,
Mhm. Mhm.
that means that this guy's a real psycho.
Yeah. Like,
A real psycho that acted
well,
upon it, you
they're
know?
also kids, so they're
They don't
remember
know
they're
any better.
front of
That's even
they're front.
scarier. They don't know any better, you know?
Mhm. They don't know any better. Especially like they can't think logically. I'm at like their frontal lobe is not developed yet.
No, that's
So to them,
scary, yeah.
so to them, they're like, oh, they see an issue and they just think this is how I can solve it. They don't think about the consequences of like what that can cause.
Nah, that's true. Like that's true. Like the fact is that, we humans
Hmm.
are scarier than any ghost.
Yeah, I'm more scared of humans than I
Hell
am of
yeah.
ghosts. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
because yeah, exactly. What do you
I'm shocked. I thought I was following the
think?
story, I thought it was probably the wife and the husband,
Yeah.
but I didn't even think that
When
the kid would ever do that,
mm-hmm.
or the kid would ever be part of this,
I
scenario.
yeah.
I think in kindergarten I would just be hungry and watching TV,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
watch some Barney
Yeah, right. I
right
mean, I'm playing
after
with my
right after
dolls and
yeah,
everything. I wasn't thinking about murdering anyone.
exactly, watching some Dragon Ball.
These are the reasons why I enjoy Reddit stories because you never know what you're gonna get when it
True,
comes to people
true.
telling their experiences.
Next question:
Mm-hmm.
was this a real story or was this a fake story?
Hmm.
What do you think?
I'm gonna go with fake, but because I don't want to believe it's real. I just don't want it to be real. If that's the case.
That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think this is fake. This is all a stunt.
Mm-hmm.
Homie erased his username or his Reddit
Deleted
account.
his account.
He deleted his account, but the story's still alive.
Yeah.
So it's probably just a stunt to scare you.
Just messes with you and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's like I told you a story and I'm gonna disappear.
Yeah.
But
Most Reddit users, honestly.
yeah. But you know something?
Yeah, what?
This conversation
Mm-hmm.
se queda entre
Entre Nosotros.
nosotros.
Yeah, and I hope you guys like the story too. I don't know if you guys were in shock. I definitely was when I was reading it.
Yeah, same here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us today
Mm-hmm.
on
Yeah.
our pilot episode.
Yeah. Still work in progress, but honestly, it's fun. Just talking and I mean, we always do this in the car. So to be able to do this and hopefully one day people can relate or listen to this or find interesting, that would be really cool.
Yeah, because we just spent hours just talking.
Mm-hmm. We might as well put our opinions out there, right?
Yeah, see what people think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But thank you for watching. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.